Hold on.
I think I actually but the thing is that you know, I'm not a participator, but I think I have more knowledge of this conflict than Destiny, arguably. Just mainly because I have followed this drama more closely. I don't. Logic hates Hassan. Nicholas Diorio also hates Hassan. But however, Nicholas Diorio is Sunni, and Chalogic is Shia, so keep that part in mind.
I think Hutch, Josiah, and Kyla so far have had their doxes spammed because of the side, quote unquote, that they're taking on this.
What did Josiah do? What?
And then people are actively seeking other doxes for people near here. And I don't know if people give a fuck about getting doxed or not. Apparently, it's just nobody cares anymore about this stuff. But this is the and then Queen and Logistical are scheming in their Discord servers at night for how to like lend support to one side of this. But this is the this is like the active and ongoing campaign, I guess, behind the scenes for this stuff. We'll see where Hassan weighs in on this for.
Fucking right-wing fascist.
Did you cover him mention you? I played the clip. It's like a clip. It's like a single clip. It isn't like a whole segment. So, I mean, personally, I don't really see that much of a big deal out of it. A lot of people are like making it out to be like, oh my god, this is your moment. Which is, like, personally, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, like, I've been on Kick or Keep before. It hasn't done anything for me. So
this piece of shit that's doing mass deportations of migrants while simultaneously destroying the global trade design that America actually invented that is greatly beneficial for America.
Is it Juice Walker's community doing the doxing? It never happens in his servers directly, no. But there's a lot of interflow between his community and the one that does do the active doxing.
America in general.
We are eating
while also
good,
simultaneously allowing the Israeli genocide to continue.
Good. Yes.
Do you know what ticked them off? Yes. So the fact that if anybody mentions me and they don't mention me as being like a rapist or whatever, then what they do in their streams is they constantly go over like conversations that anybody's having, and then they try to like reset the record on. Oh, they're also trying to dox August as well to make sure that people understand that, like, hold on, guys, you got to remember, like, Destiny's admitted to doing all of this stuff.
Like the most he's a mysterious fucking, person.
He's violated all these people's consent. Fuck. I had a clip on this, but
I barely know anything about August. This guy's like so.
I need to start saving these better.
That guy might be a little bit worse than a fucking Twitch streamer that believes in.
Wait, he's gonna do the thing. Believes in.
Wait, what? Hutch? Hutch?
And like what? Free healthcare and higher minimum wage? Is that the meme that he always says?
You know, being steadfast in his approach to anti-war and wants the American government to fucking
can you
better
even be the president?
Okay, anti-war, I guess. Okay,
I could. Yes, I was born here.
No, you're not unk enough yet.
That's true. But
that's what I was getting at. I wasn't talking about geography.
Well, I'm 34. I got one more year. I got one more year.
Conversation's moot anyway.
Yeah.
Wait a year. Yeah, that's my message to these perverts in general.
He's just 34. I thought he was like 53.
Wait a year.
There's no shot, right? Isn't Hassan's guess the second? Is it? I don't know. I don't know who that person is. It's just like watching him. Oh God.
I think it's really fucked up. This is what Northern Lion.
Are we okay?
It's so awkward.
Does now.
Like it's so
dude,
awkward.
Dude, come on!
Bro.
Don't come after my goat like that. Northern Lion would never.
He would never. He's great.
This man is tarnishing the. Hassan is worse. This whole discourse is making me want to kill myself.
Wow, he's actively reading my tweets on stream now. Okay.
We agree on that.
I like how Hassan went all the way from like, oh, we don't give out free clout to we're reading out Destiny's fucking tweets. It's crazy.
I like that his mods constantly shit on him. You
so
suck
stupid.
Right now. That's what one of his mods said.
Pick your poison.
Oh, he's watching Hutch read my tweet. Sorry, Jesus. We're 3 layers deep.
Like, Hutch, we'd be in camps. Hutch, we'd be in camps under Hassan. This is such a dumb hypothetical,
Pick your poison.
So how many concurrent viewers do you need to get noticed by Hassan? Like 1,000, right? Lonerbox was at 1,000 before he got mentioned or watched by Hassan. And then you have other people, right? Hutch is also 1K at least, or whatever. Hassan malding at Hutch chat? Yeah, but like, why? It's not your chat. It's a community of people that obviously disagrees with you. It makes no sense to maul at them. Like, what's the point? Like for example, if I were to go into Queenman's chat and Queenman is actively covering me, or is J-Stelk, obviously I'm gonna expect like hate comments or whatever. I'm just not gonna look at them. Why the fuck would I look at them in the first place, right? Like there's no point. There's just simply no point.
Yeah, there's people are.
Queenman will also quote tweet and spam chat messages to people like Pisco to suck up and try and get in their good graces to make an alliance. Yes, and they also Justical has an account that he's put in Pisco's chat as well to try to stir shit up as well. It's a whole ass like fucking coordinated thing. They're pretty. They try their best.
He has low concurrent. Yeah, but Hutch doesn't even have low concurrent viewers. Like what? Okay, yeah. The thing is that like people, dude, 1.3K, 1.4K is not low concurrent viewers. I like 1K at worst. Okay, 1K at worst. That is technically a large streamer. Okay, yeah, technically.
He's literally already sending people.
Not saying that sucking up
that's
to
right. I would be
Hutch
sending
right now, but, I'm just
Hutch
saying.
to the camps, I guess.
What?
And Pisco doesn't promote it. What is this news association? I've never said that Pisco promotes it. I don't think that Pisco or them. I don't think.
Doesn't counterpoints only hit like 100 concurrent? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because now, guys, we are at a viewership level where we're now competing with counterpoints. It's crazy. It's crazy up in this bitch. Yeah. I mean, before I could have never imagined. It's crazy.
Any of them are part of this network of people that are doing it. I'm just making you aware of the things that are working in the background. I don't think I've even implied that Pisco, Econoboy, or whatever support that. I don't think they support that in any way, size, shape, or form. But it's just these are the people that are like working in the background to try to like make all the drama and push everything in a certain direction.
Yeah. It's not an easy industry to be in.
Right-wing personality latching onto identity as a target rather than ideology is such a good point. Zizek would like that.
How is Physical's community so powerful? Isn't it a super small community? It's not really powerful. It's that if you have a group of like 10 or 15 people who are really dedicated in small edge spaces where, especially if stuff is already like in a certain direction, you just try really, really, really hard to control the narrative on everything. And then what they do in the meantime is if you ever push back against it or mention it, then they just try to like gaslight you and say like, oh, you're crazy. Like we don't have anything involved in any of this. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's it. I am a far more interesting target than to actually like discuss the issues on the boundaries of policy, on the boundaries of impact of policy, on what it would look like if you were to play out a legislative agenda that like puts workers.
Why even mention them? Because people like Hassan, like all the way at the top, are amplifying everything that comes from these people. So I'll just be more blatant about pointing it out from now on. Because when I bring this stuff up like very sparingly, then I just sound like I'm schizo posting. But when people like Hassan are now actively platforming people like that and Banana, who are also like amplifiers of all this stuff, I think I kind of have to call it out. So I will call it out when I see it.
Yes, and yeah, I think that people like saying, oh, well, why are you giving them attention? Why are you giving these people attention in the first place? Well, it starts to matter once people at the top begins to notice the people at the bottom, begins amplifying their messages, right? And the thing is that, like these kinds of schizo communities, like J-Stelk and Queenmans and Spicy Chat, like these communities, like they try their best to gain more clout or whatever the fuck, right? Because they have this parasocial relationship with the community. They want to get validation from the same people in the chat, right? So in order to do so, by showing other people that they are able to spread their influence, right? That's how they get praise from other people, right? So what I'm saying is that like this is all just very intentional stuff. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Is that is that it is literally a competition, like almost like a competition between some people to get more attention, you know, to achieve clout as a chatter. So yeah, it's like it's just kind of like the culture behind, you know, these kinds of communities, these kinds of snark communities, is just to try to get the attention of some large streamer, right?
Yep. Yeah. Did you see Queeman's retarded defense?
And they are quite successful. Again, if Hassan is the one that's spreading around the same narratives, and I don't watch Hassan, okay, I'm just gonna assume that he's telling the truth here because no one else countered it. Yeah, fuck, yeah, they're quite successful.
Hassan's re-education camps, yes, Queeman and Justical again are like full on, like 100%, like it's like raccooning, like scheming in the background, trying to like stir shit and cause drama and push people in a certain way.
Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to say it's not like Queeman and J-Stock don't actually believe in re-education camps, obviously. However, they will do things in order to cover for them. For example, they will say like, oh, the re-education camps, oh, you mean just like regular school? You mean just regular... I'm sorry, but I don't think Hassan just simply means regular school, okay? I don't think that's the case. But yeah, whatever, man. It's like, so you just got to be careful with their sweeping or whatever, or just raccooning. Is that a Foodshops reference? Is that? No, there's no shot. No way.
Fuck, right? I'm trying to find this clip.
No, that's
like,
schizo.
And I just sound like I'm schizo posting. But when people like Hassan are now actively platforming people like Bad and Banana, who are also, you know, like amplifiers, all this stuff, I think I kind of have to call it out. So I will call it out when I see it. Did you see Queeman's retarded defense of Hassan's re-education camps? Yes, Queeman and Justical again are like full on, like 100%, like it's like raccooning, like scheming in the background, trying to like stir shit and cause drama and push people in a certain way.
Oh, he did say raccooning. Is he like? That's a. Oh, I've never heard it used that way before. Okay, I mean, like dude, listen, the channel animal is a fucking raccoon. Okay. The server's icon is a raccoon, all right? It's racist, but I don't know if he knows. I don't think he knows. I think he just means it in the sense of like they're sneaking around. Well, he said J-Stock and Queen were doing the raccooning. Yeah, I mean they're not black, right?
Fuck, I'm trying to find this clip somebody sent me of
So I don't know that one.
Justical's like watching like the four of the Live and Learn guys talk, and he's like, "Oh, do these guys not remember that Destiny fully admitted under testimony that he's guilty of all the crimes?" And we're like, "What?"
You're skeptical? Oh.
What is this?
No,
Re-education, as Hassan explains in the Leftovers clip, is referring to de-radicalization programs for violent offenders and terrorists who commit ideological crimes. Something many Euro countries already do. Very dishonestly portrayed clip. You should focus on just white. What? I'm sorry. Excuse me. What?
Oh shit. Never mind. I guess it does exist. What? Okay.
Quimmin is your number 2 hate watcher. Yeah, and it's so funny too because he was such a pussy cuck. Every time we were in a call together, he wouldn't say anything to me at all. But I realize now why. It's because remember the way that the propaganda works is like it can never be directly confronted. You always have to have like your own little environment in the background where you can say shit
that is true.
Obstructed. Or you have to find like the weakest people. You have to find like the weakest people to fight with because if you have to actually confront the insane shit you're saying, you always look like a retard, which is why every single call that I was ever in Quimmin with, he never said anything to me at all.
Ooh.
I'm going through a claim of culpability that started just like yours. A homeowner told me about a problem they have after some work I did on their house. They're using my text of "I'm sorry" as proof I'm 100% at fault based. Pisco defended the Hassan Reeducation camp clip in my call-in saying it's not really what Hassan said, quoting a post put on his subreddit. Wait, Zip, give me the timestamp it, because that's the drama we're doing right now. And then I'll explain, I guess, like the Econo Boy stuff.
When did he mention you? Oh, it's coming up. Personally, I just don't think it's that big of a deal, but I get it. It's exciting time for the viewers, okay?
That post was made by a Snarker, Hassan, and Mr. Girl poster, I think. Wait, link. Where are my links? I need drama researchers next. You shouldn't trust DGG with how to interpret Hassan's ideology. Re-education camps as an example.
Caught
with Donald Trump.
Part 1, re-education and Hassan's ideological beliefs. On yesterday's stream, someone named ZipZip called in and claimed that Hassan wants re-education camps and referred to his conversation with Ethan Klein about them. Hassan does not believe in having re-education camps, and this interpretation that he does is clearly bad faith when you listen to Hassan's fleshed out thoughts. Here are the clips.
With Donald Trump on things.
Okay, so you're saying, for example, when he's against the deportations to Saqqat, it's because because of why?
Because he doesn't like Donald Trump, and because he hates minorities, or for whatever reason. But basically, I know what you're getting at.
Dude, fuck me, dude. Dude, can we just use common sense? What do communists mean when they say re-education camps? There's only one way that they use it. They use it in the sense that they're forcing people to go in order to get brainwashed.
But
right?
Hassan has also explicitly said that.
What is this like coping? That like re-education camps is not what they're actually saying, even though it's used all the time in lefty servers as specifically that? What?
He would be in favor of like re-education camps in his ideal society or whatever.
Are we in the same universe?
Ethan Klein. I don't know if you've seen that clip, but there's a lot of stuff there that if you
that's
look
bad.
at Hassan, which is bad.
I think Kirk would, but Kirk right now is defending the stuff that's actually happening, and I think Kirk would also support re-education camps if Trump instituted it. So
I don't disagree.
But I think that like.
Okay, so when it comes to Kirk, you're using re-education camps in the right way, but when it comes to Hassan, he's not?
Like, there's a difference here. Charlie Kirk, I don't think, would do re-education camps on his own. I think he'd probably support Donald Trump, literally whatever the fuck Donald Trump did, because Charlie Kirk is Donald Trump's #1 nut hugger. But Hassan would implement re-education camps all on his own. But
Kirk would also support a bunch of other fucked up shit that Hassan wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but then Hassan would also support a bunch of fucked up shit that Kirk wouldn't. So I don't know what.
Yes, but not because of where they came from. Like Hassan would support stuff that Charlie Kirk would not abide by.
Oh,
and
okay.
so if the will of the people is to go back to do more of a social democracy, is that something that a socialist country should move towards, or should there be resistance in the government to keep socialism?
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to that same degree of violence, but I think that yes.
So just to break down what's being said here, Ethan Klein is saying, also this is why I'll come down on Econo Boy later as well, who's, I think tweets were fucking insane. But what would happen if you had a social democracy or whatever the fuck socialist government you had, and there was like a political party that was coming up that was, like a capitalist or liberal political party? And Hassan says they should be resisted the same way that capitalist countries resist socialism. When Hassan says that, he's not talking about what is actually happening today, which is where people are like, ooh, boo socialism. In his mind, all of socialism is failing because of CIA ops all over the world that is destroying socialist governments and secretly murdering. It's like McCarthyism plus the Cold War era CIA. That's what Hassan thinks the CIA is doing now, and that's what he kind of wants his socialist governments to do, although not quite as bad, he says.
There be resistance in the government to keep socialism.
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to that same degree of violence, but I think that yes, the solution to that would always be education and offering more.
Remember, like, the solution to enemy political parties is education. We have to educate them, meaning that there is no legitimate disagreement between socialism or liberalism / capitalism. It's just re-education. That's it. With some degree of violence, but not as bad, I guess, as the CIA was in the Cold War.
Is it like okay, you know what I think of when I think of re-education camps? I think of like Vietnam War veterans that were trapped in like the fucking Viet Cong fucking war prisons and shit like that, where they are trying to be like forcefully like fucking brainwashed or some shit and experimented on. That's what I picture in my mind, okay? Like, do you really want to be associated with that? What? Like fucking Guantanamo Bay type shit? Like, or some shit?
Education?
What? Why? Why would you-
Re-education,
this-
certainly,
It
yeah.
just looks
Like-
so bad.
Ethan even uses
Why
the
would you
kind of
even do
coded dog
this?
whistle word or whatever, like re-education, camps. And Hassan just owns it immediately. He knows what these are, right? He must know the meme, right? The re-education camp meme. And Hassan has no problem saying, yeah.
Re-education, certainly, yeah.
Right.
I know that that's like a
Let's
trigger
put them in
word.
camps.
No, not like that. I know there's a trigger word because everyone goes, "Oh, re-education." What do you mean? Like,
Okay, hold on. Not in camps. Okay, whoa. Camps is too far.
immediately people think like, "Are
Well,
you
China
talking
does
about?
that.
Are you talking about like resident schools? Are you talking about the
China has
Xinjiang? Yeah,
re-education.
100%. They
Yeah.
do. They do it. They did it in Xinjiang,
Which
which I
isn't
think
good,
was,
right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was good. This is
And the thing is that they only say it's not good when they're being pushed on it, and that's like one of the most frustrating parts because it feels like this should be, you know how we have to like cater our language to everyone we talk to, where we go like, okay, so let's talk about the re-education camps. Now, for clarification, I don't support the re-education camps, but right, you kind of have to you know, kind of give a little bit of a virtue signal, right? It is technically a virtue signal, but it's a good virtue signal, right? That is a Destiny take. But like the thing is yeah, we all give a little bit of a virtue signal to everything, right? In terms of like the re-education camps, why is it that you only give that virtue signal when you're being pushed on it? Doesn't that make you kind of suspicious? Because naturally, when someone talks about these kinds of issues, they naturally bring up the caveats, right? They naturally bring up the fucking pillowing, right? I don't fucking know. It's like, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
something I have openly criticized as well. Like that's not good.
It's
The
like
massive
pattern.
surveillance apparatus that they
It's
built
like
in
a pattern.
Xinjiang is not good.
So what would be
Right.
Even
good
though
about a socialist re-education camp for capitalists?
It wouldn't necessarily. I don't think it'd be camps. I mean,
Like, I'm sorry, but that is an unhinged response. And if you can't see it, you are literally brain broken. I think Pisco, in trying so hard to be like not anti-Hassan, has like broken his brain on that response of like, oh, well, he said he wouldn't do it. Wouldn't be quite like that. So like, that's not that bad, right? That is just an unbelievable, like I would never in my life imagine a leader of my country be like, would you put people in camps? Like, well, not like that. Like, that's an unbelievable response.
Camp for capitalists.
it wouldn't necessarily. I don't think it'd be camps. I mean, it depends on.
yeah,
It depends
not
on
camp.
crimes,
Yeah.
right?
Not
Like, are
camps.
people committing crimes at the behest of this? Because if there's a socialist state and someone is doing like white terror, let's say, or someone is doing
Stealing
White
South
terror.
Korean style, purges of communists, which has
White
happened
terror.
historically in every country that America is aligned with, because they were anti-communist, where they've launched, military dictatorships, whether we recognize it or not. Those things have happened, right? So in a situation like that, I think if there's any kind of like terrorism happening,
Sure, yeah.
Like, he speaks in vaguish terms here, but the obvious answer is, why would you need camps for people that are engaged in doing crimes? Don't we just put those people in prison? Like, what are we talking about here exactly, right? Like, we already have places for people that commit violent crimes. It's called prison.
If there's
then-
violence,
then yes,
that's
I
obvious.
I do think that there should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well, would probably be a lot better than like, a prison structure where they have slavery, like in the United States of America.
Like, that's an unhinged answer. I'm sorry. That is a crazy answer. Let's see. What does this poster say? He explicitly rejects the idea of re-education camps. Not really. He just reforms it into something that sounds a little bit more euphemistically acceptable. And the way Hassan explains it, he talks about education of socialism to be the same how a capitalist country would teach or indoctrinate for capitalism. But Hassan believes that we do indoctrination of capitalism through permanent McCarthyism, and that like the CIA and the FBI are the people killing Martin Luther King and killing all the socialist leaders and killing all of the socialists around the world. Remember, that's what they think. And the way he talks about re-education, he is talking about a rehabilitative process for people who commit violent crimes or ideologically motivated terrorism. Really? We already have prison for these people. What are you talking about? Commit violent crimes? For For Hassan's alternative in practice, it already exists. There are several liberal democracies that run compulsory or voluntary de-radicalization programs for violent extremist offenders. Denmark, Norway, Finland, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada all have some form of voluntary de-radicalization programs for offenders who commit ideological violence, but that doesn't mean being a capitalist. What? That's the ideological crime that Hassan is talking about, is being a capitalist.
Right.
The UK, Germany, Singapore,
like
and France
crime,
also
right?
all have similar programs, but make them mandatory in specific legal circumstances. So Hassan's idea of re-education can be interpreted to be somewhat radical, but it is something some capitalist countries already do now. That's like saying we should be able to execute people for wearing the color green. And they're like, well, some countries already have the death penalty for certain crimes. So, you know, there's a lot of countries that already kind of sort of do this to some extent. Like they execute people for things, you know, that they've already done, that they've decided they have the death penalty for. It's like, This timestamp in Peace Goes VOD. Hold on.
The will of the people is to go back.
Part 2, Destiny, Thought Crimes, and Hassan Derangement Syndrome. I'd actually looked this up a few days ago because I heard Not So Erudite talking about Hassan, and she repeated the same bad faith interpretation as well. So Kyla has been doxxed recently, and then these people are also like trying to tell people to call ICE and shit on her. She's also like a public enemy #1. Queeman and Gisticle also unhingedly attack her constantly, and sometimes Gisticle will host his BPD suicidal girlfriend, Cherry, onto his stream to also obsessively talk about Kyla. It's one of the reasons why Gisticle likes to manipulate and abuse Cherry, is because he can bring her on stream to host all of her unhinged skinwalker, like insane attacks against Kyla as well. This is what compelled me to search this up, as I have also seen her having Hassan Derangement Syndrome. Then I felt compelled to make this post about DGG because after hearing this yesterday, I looked for more clips with ChatGPT. The prompt was something like, Hassan Piker is accused of advocating for re-education camps. Wait, what? I looked for more clips with ChatGPT. This prompt was something like, Hassan Piker is accused of advocating for re-education camps. Can you find me clips from him doing this? The first 2 clips it gave me were literally Destiny clips of him going over this to point out the bad faith in the Destiny clip. Before Hassan even gave his answer, he's asking his chat for a clip of someone else talking about re-education. He then just asserts Hassan is lying, playing the clip of someone else talking about re-education camps and saying this is what Hassan actually wants.
The will of the people is to go back to do more of a social democracy. Is that something that a socialist country should move towards, or should there be resistance in the government to keep socialism?
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to the same degree of violence, but I think that yes, the solution to that would always be education and
re-education camps.
bring more
re-education.
Re-education, certainly, yeah.
Somebody give me the clip of that one losers. Like we would house our comrades in re-education camp. Somebody please give me the clip. Please give me. Oh my God, the guy. Oh fuck. Oh my God, what was his name? Who am I thinking of?
I also think like, dude, and you can disagree with this if you want, I don't care. I just know what the truth is. DGGers are oftentimes very critical of Destiny, okay? If you look on the subreddit, it's oftentimes the case. Like some schizos on there will literally like try to find, and double check whether or not what Destiny is saying is correct because they hate watch Hassan, they hate watch whatever, and oftentimes they are the ones that are constantly making posts that are designed to trigger Destiny on purpose, right? Because it's funny to see him triggered. It happens all the fucking time. The thing is that like people like to say, oh, DGG is like one oh, you don't understand. It's like the most malicious, single-minded whatever. No, I fucking hate some, like, I actually like dislike the whole like fucking, I know, I meme about it, but it's just like, I just can't handle some people, okay? Some DGers are just too insufferable, all right? But, yeah.
Non-compete. Oh, yeah. When he says that, oh my God, it was so fucking cringe and unhinged.
The clip. I know that's like a trigger word. No, not like that. I know
not the camps. Oh, no.
Trigger word because everyone goes, oh, re-education. What do you mean? Like, immediately people think like, are you talking about like resident schools? Are you talking about the Xinjiang? Yeah, 100% they do. They do it. They did it in Xinjiang.
Which is good, right?
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it was good. This is something I have openly criticized as well. Like, that's not good. The massive surveillance apparatus they built in Xinjiang is not good.
Like, for example, right, you could argue that Destiny's audience is pro-Zionist, right? Like, generally pro-Zionist, very pro, whatever, because of his Zionism arc. Fine, fair enough, okay? But recently, there has been a multitude of posts pointing out all the terrible things that Israel has done recently, okay? So it's like, in any other community where you're trying to, like, you're trying to, like, suppress the topics and stuff, the mods would remove them because they don't want you spreading a narrative that doesn't align perfectly with whatever that group's like worldview is, right? However, posts like being like pro-Palestine posts are allowed to stay up, and so are other posts. The thing is it's just like, it's a courtesy to do that, I think, right? Like, Destiny doesn't have to do it, right? The mods doesn't have to do it. Like dude, everyone hates Fourth Off. It's like, they don't have to do it. They don't have to do any of that. It's like, okay.
What would be good about a socialist re-education camp for capitalists?
It wouldn't necessarily. I don't give you camps. I mean,
and then I remember when domestic abuse discourse was going down for Destiny. Do you know how many? Portal is long gone. Okay, good. The thing is that, have you seen how many fucking like how many posts blasting Destiny there are? Like, there's just so many. There's just so fucking many, right? Posts blasting Destiny, all this. There's just so many. It's just like, I don't know. I just like, like, they're not anti-fans, but I think they're certainly like critical fans, right? Every disagreement in Destiny and the sub dissolves into him actually being based. But what do you mean specifically by that? But also, like, I think the only issue, I guess, is that the subreddit is just very non-serious. I guess it's not necessarily an issue, but it's just a very non-serious subreddit. For example, Destiny would just ban anyone he disagrees with, which is his right, okay? But like, and then everyone has like the fucking spinning gun, like fucking Russian roulette, fucking ban option, okay? Which is yeah, they can all do that. So it's like, okay.
Well, and oh my god, I don't hate him. I don't hate Hassan. What I hate are all of the mind-numbingly retarded fucking fans that can watch him squirm like this and not think that it's the most. You literally have you've got like the drunken Dayquil master over here, okay, Ethan, asking the most innocuous questions, and Hassan is acting like he's getting pressed in front of like a fucking Senate Judiciary Committee, and he's like under oath. He's like committed like 50 million crimes. He's trying to hide from the United States.
True.
Like, it's actually appalling.
True.
It depends on crime, right? Like, are people committing crimes at the behest of this? Because if there's a socialist state and someone is doing like white terror, let's say, or someone is doing South Korean style, purges of communists, which has happened historically in every country that America.
Sorry, hold on. We just skipped so much shit. Stupid. My synergy froze. Oh, this is.
I like the implicit shout out to North Korea there as well. The unhinged South Korean style purge of communists. I like the mini shout out there.
But rather than this is the clip. Hold on.
It's so corny. Like that. The thing is that it's so corny.
Or untreated mental illness will be substantially lower. It's a sad.
Oh my god, the non-compete guy. This is so fucking cringe. Holy shit.
The fact that some violent or predatory individuals may never be capable of entering back into society. But rather than abandoning these people, we must do our best to give them the best possible chance at recovery and reform with the hopes of eventually re-entering society. In situations where re-entry does seem possible, care must be taken to monitor and assist these reformed individuals to...
Dude, I like how everyone is for rehabilitation or some shit until it comes to, oh, this person annoyed me on Twitter, then we must give them the death penalty. It's like, oh, you will be sent to the camps because you annoyed me on Twitter. Like, that's the apex of like leftist political activism. It's like, okay, anytime they're annoyed, oh, well, we gotta send you off to the camps, which is perfectly in line with communism and perfectly in line with other authoritarian regimes, right? How many times have Stalin dragged off people just because he was like having nightmares in the middle of the night, right? Because he was having night terrors. Countless, right? Countless. But yeah.
Preempt relapse or deception, and to ensure that the patient successfully merges back into wider society. Reactionaries and counter-revolutionaries would be treated in a very similar manner. How we deal with former capitalists, fascists, and other such oppressors will be one of the great tests of anarchist society. Great care must be taken to treat them compassionately and humanely, giving them every opportunity to join our society as active and productive comrades, starting by treating them like any other comrade with special circumstances. Rather than ship deposed class enemies off to inhumane gulags or otherwise seek out revenge, they should be placed in reform centers where they're able to live in comfort and benefit from counseling and education, teaching them about the benefits of our new society. Some may never be willing to give up their abuses, and these die-hard oppressors would need to be secluded, perhaps indefinitely. But capitalists and reactionaries who demonstrate a willingness to re-enter society on equal footing should be given every opportunity to learn, grow, and eventually rejoin our community in peace.
All right, man.
Bro, somebody link this to Ethan.
Jesus.
That's what Hassan wants.
Well, would probably be
This clip has someone basically saying people should be put into re-education camps for thought crimes that go against socialism. That is essentially what Hassan is saying. I don't know if people are not understanding that, but that is essentially what Hassan is saying. Yes.
A lot better than like, a prison structure where they have slavery, like in the United States of America.
I'm still a little bit.
Sorry.
Hassan clearly does not advocate for that and rejects the idea of it as bad. He only advocated re-education as a tool for de-radicalization of ideologically violent criminals. That means capitalists, by the way, and terrorists, and to make it part of a rehabilitation process as a replacement for American-style prisons. Dustin even poisons the well for people who interpret differently what Hassan is saying by demeaning them as regarded fans. I have never once in my life ever watched Hassan as a form of entertainment. Like 99% of my consumption of Hassan has been through either Destiny or Sitch and Adam. And the other 1% has been fact-checking what other people say Hassan said. I don't really know that much more about Hassan's politics. In the past, I had looked up a few statements about Hassan.
Other fucking retards. Oh, God.
That Dan Saltman said, that also turned out to be mostly lies. Pisco's been calling out more lies that come from this community, mostly lies involving himself, and I hope he continues to do so in other ways that narratives are misconstrued from there.
Someone should check what this Reddit user is and see if they're like an active poster in r/like DGG Snark or some shit. I don't know, some kind of fucking...
Part 3. Not so erudite caught the Hassan derangement syndrome. Terminal. This is going to be slightly discombobulated because I want to finish this and have spent too much time on it already.